Okay, JJ and Anthony are back for a game of fact or fiction. Let's start with Kodai Senga. If he ends up being healthy, JJ, he can actually help the Mets out of the bullpen come postseason time.
This is an absolute no-brainer. Fact times 1,000, John Alba. I mean, we're talking about one of the most talented pitchers on the Mets staff. I have basically ruled out the possibility he could contribute in any way in 2024. So if it's an inning, if it's 2 innings, if it's 3 innings, great. Anthony, where do I sign? This is stone cold fact.
Yeah, I'm with you, JJ. This is definitely a fact. Look how he came back in his one outing this year after that long layoff. He pitched great, and then, of course, he got hurt in that game, which was too bad. But, look, I mean, there's also, we got to caution here. There's progressions to go through.
Absolutely.
He's not eligible to come off the list until, I think it's September 25th, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So there's some time here before this all develops. I mean, if he does end up as a late-season bullpen weapon for the Mets, so much the better.
Francisco Lindor, Anthony. He's someone who will be a huge contributor for the playoffs for the Mets if they can get there. He's an NL MVP candidate this season. But is it fair to say that his year is actually being underappreciated around the league?
Yes, I think it is. Look, I mean, he's obviously a complete player. He's playing a tremendous shortstop, and everything right now he hits is a laser. You know, he did have that bad start. I think he would get a lot more love from fans and media as well if he hadn't had another cold April, May, blah, 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 and was hitting this way the whole season. You know, look, Ohtani is sort of, I think there are a lot of people who have said Ohtani will be the MVP, no doubt. I mean, I do think Ohtani is going to win the MVP. Unless roles reverse here in the last month of the season. But Lindor has been amazing. He's the Mets leader. He called the team meeting, right? So he's done a lot of good things, JJ.
A lot of excellent points, but I'm going fiction here, and maybe this is me, Anthony and John, living in the prototypical New York bubble, but I am here at SNY. I have all the Met fans in my life, and I think Francisco Lindor is getting the due credit that he deserves, quite frankly. I mean, if you look at the odds as far as MVP is concerned, Ohtani is number 1, but you're seeing Francisco Lindor 2 to 3.
Yeah, he's 2.
He's 2 at this particular point in time.
Pretty significant, though, that Ohtani's number 1.
Of course, but doesn't that show you love, respect, all of these beautiful adjectives that you're looking for? I think the baseball community knows what Francisco Lindor is bringing to the Mets day in and day out.
We saw a great answer from Carlos Mendoza earlier about how this team is progressing. JJ, fact or fiction, can we argue that Carlos Mendoza has exceeded expectations in his first year?
Oh, absolutely. This is a fact for me. Look, I had very low expectations for Mendoza coming into this team in this particular year. He had never managed before. I had my questions coming over from the Yankees staff. What he's done such a brilliant job of, he has managed the idea of, hey, I have all this new age information, but I'm going to manage with my gut. I'm going to make tweaks to the lineup. He's had a great pulse and a great feel for his clubhouse. And Anthony, he's kept the team together. They started off 0-5. They were double-digit under 500, and he dug them out of that. We talked about the adversity they had last week. This team's now 10 over 500. He's done a fantastic job. He's a manager of the year candidate as far as I'm concerned.
I agree, JJ. Listen, the Mets weren't, even their own organization didn't believe that they were going to be where they are right now in terms of the playoff race. And I think part of the reason they are here is Mendoza. All credit to the players, most of the credit to the players, but Mendoza is a big part of this. He manages, as JJ said, with a nice feel in addition to all the other information that he gets. And I think he's held players accountable this season. And I like the way that he talks about players, good and bad. So I think he's in a good spot, and they've gotten a lot from him.